Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I want to share with you Lenormand cards, meanings. I will try to do it very fast as possible. Of course, I'm not going to give you all the meanings and how the card is in relationship or in business because it will take me too much, and I think let's leave that for my future book and future course. So here I'm going to show you a quick flip through of the cards, and I chose today this deck, which is the Pagan Lenormand, only because it is really big, so you can see the images, so you can see the cards, and it also have the playing card symbol, which I really like when the cards have the playing card symbol in them, because this is also extremely important. Let's begin with card number 1, and this is the Rider card. So the Rider represents announcements. My deck fell. So the Rider represents announcements, news, delivery of mail, delivery of some package. It's a very fast, quick card. It also represents vehicles or a young man or a young lover, but I don't want to confuse you. Let's just stick with the very simple interpretations, and just remember that this is the card that announcing something. This is the card of delivery of news, of receiving some information. So the second card is the Clover, and the Clover is the card of receiving some quick good luck. It's a very positive, fortunate card. This card represents good luck and something happy and good that is happening to you, but not for a long time, only for now. Like winning the lottery or receiving some money from unexpected source, but not some huge amount of money, although sometimes it can be huge amount of money, because this is overall the card of good luck and good fortune. So I'm not always going to say that this is small luck, but in the Lenormand, in the classical description, it represented as small luck and small gain. Also gambling and comedians and healing in case if someone is sick. So the third card is the Ship card, and this is the card of distant travel, of immigrants, of some travel to distant place, different countries, something that is very far away from you. It can also indicate trade, business, because the ship represents import, export, also represents exotic people and travelers, immigrants, as I said, basically a journey to a distant place. This card also can be a representation of vehicles to some people. Number 4 is the card of the home, and the home is very simple. It represents the home, your home. This is a building, a structure. This is a small structure. It's not about huge buildings of corporations. It's about houses and tents and everywhere where people are living. It also can represent a small family business. So basically this is your property and your home, also your stability, your groundness, and building solid foundations in your life. So number 5 is the card of the tree, and the tree represents well-being, growth, your health, your roots, your ancestors. It can also represent some blueprints. So overall this is the card of your health and well-being and growth. Also this card is very slow. This is the Clouds card, and this card have a negative feeling. This is the card of confusion, of uncertainty, of smoke, of depression, of some situation that is not understood in your life. Something is not understood. Some people are saying where the clouds are dark, so this is where it's going to be the darkness. Let's say if you have a card here And if you have a card here, that means that the darkness is leaving you. It's a card of moodiness and of confusion. Number 7 is the card of the snake, and this is a very complex card. It represents enemies, betrayal, some unknown, some secrecy. Someone is working behind your back and there is some dangerous person, some dangerous woman maybe. Someone is trying to deceive you. But for magicians and for a practitioner of magic, this card is actually a very good card because this is the card of wisdom. So this is the card that represents magic also. It can also represent flexibility, like a yoga instructor, and wisdom. The snake is a very, very wise animal. It knows how to get what it wants. But usually in a reading, this is an enemy, a competitor, the other woman, some jealous person. Number 8 is the Coffin card, and this is a very simple card of endings and of something in the box or hidden from you. Something is not known or something is going to end in your life. This is a bit difficult card. It represents depression, something very difficult, but not always. It depends on the context in the reading. So this is why Lenormand is a bit tricky. In simple questions, sometimes it can represent just a piece of furniture or a wall or something hidden in your drawer. But overall, this is the card of death, of transformation, and of sickness and depression and chronic illness. Number 9 is the card of the Bukit, and this card represents events, something good and joyful that is happening in your life. It can be a wedding, a formal event, some gathering of people, some celebration. Also, it represents present, someone gave you a present, or life and the higher powers gave you present of talents and skills. So it can represent someone who is very skillful, who is very talented, and someone that is very, very neat and formal. Pay attention that the Bukit is very, very formal and official and aesthetic in a way. It can also represent beauty and art. Number 10 is the side card, and this is the card of danger. That means that something unexpected is going to happen in the life of the querent. Something suddenly will cut away from his life. It is a card of danger. This is the card of sharp objects, of knives, of needles, of something sharp, or getting bruises, cuts, or accidents. There is also interpretation that this card represents, like this picture, rip of the, I forgot the word in English, like you reaping the fruits, but usually not. It depends on you and it depends how you're reading the cards. Usually it is danger, usually it's something not pleasant in the life of the querent. So number 11 is the whip card, and the whip card represents conflicts, fights, aggressiveness, sports, competition, someone that is very aggressive and dominant. And also it might represent, because of the broom, that this situation needs to be cleansed away, or you need to clean yourself. Also, this card represents two things because it has two items and it's the number 11. So it can represent some duality, or two jobs, two income streams, two partners, two love interests, something that has duality. So basically it's very simple. It's conflicts, fights, arguments, competition and sports, and clearing away something that is not necessary in your life. So number 12 is the birds card, or the owls, and this is the card of speech, of talking, of gossiping, of discussions, of anxieties, and of errands. Sometimes when we need to do stuff and we are all here and about and speaking a lot and going from here to there. Maybe daily errands and some tension, a bit anxiety, and speech and voice and vocal. It also can represent two people because birds are two owls, and it's basically a card of chattering and talking. It also might represent a phone call or a text message. And in case that you are having the deck with the owls represent two old people and two old wise people. Number 13 is the child card, and the child card represents a child, small child, or something new that is happening in the life of the querent, some new project, new beginning. Also, it represents some person who is immature, someone that do not have experience. Sometimes it can be also the other woman in a case that the man have a mistress. It can play out as the young female in case that the male have a very, very young lover. Number 14 is the card of the fox, and the card of the fox is very interesting. Many people have difficulties to interpretate this card and to categorize it, whether it's the job or whether it's some deception. So this card is about deception, is about surviving skills, it's about effort. This is mainly what this card represents. It does not really represent a job. This is not the job. It means that the person needs to be very smart, be very cunning, go out there and make huge effort. This is the card of an effort, of working hard. So it's not the job itself, it's really putting lots of energy in the job. Yes, it can be a card of deceptions, of lies, of someone that is spying on you, because this is the card of espionage and a card of surviving basic skills. Number 15 is the card of the bear, and the bear is the card of power, authority, your power of your spirit. It is your life force, basically. Usually this is the card of your father. This is the card that represents authority figures, government, someone in a very, very high position. And this is someone who give you protection. So the bear is a very positive card. Sometimes it can represent very overweight people and restaurants and someone that likes to eat well, someone that is very hairy. This is also can happen. But we're not talking about the physical representation of the person. This is mainly the card of your life force, of spirit, of power, of your government also. It also can represent the lover of a woman and her ex. Number 16 is the card of the stars, and the stars represents hope, represent something very good and positive, high hopes, high wishes, your dreams, what do you really want. It can represent astrologers, it can represent someone that is very scientific also, someone who is in science, and also can represent creative people, people who are not from this earth, people who are very, very artistic and advanced in their thinking. So artists, scientists, but overall this is a card of something good and that your dreams are coming true. And also it means something a lot, because there are lots of stars and it can mean that there is something spreading out, a lot of things. Also this is the card of the night and of high hopes and dreams. Number 17 is the card of the stork, and the stork represents changes and transitions and rejuvenation in the querent's life. This is the card of change. Something is changing, something is transitioning in the life of the querent, usually for the good. It can also represent birth and fertility, because this is the stork, usually represents very loving woman. So the stork represents changes and also flight to a different country. It do not represent a distant travel although it can be sometimes, because the distant travel is in card number 3. This is basically a change in life. Number 18 is the dog card, and the dog card is the card of good friendship, of harmony, tranquility, also peace, and making peace with someone. But overall, this card represents your friendship and your friends. Also represents loyalty, someone that is very loyal to you, and loyalty overall. A bodyguard in a way, someone who protects you and who is your loyal friend. Sometimes it can represent people who are too much attached to some person. But overall, this is a very positive card. Number 19 is the card of the Tower, and the Tower represents everything that is official. Now, I know I said in card number 15, which is the bear, that the bear represents government. So don't confuse between those cards. This is the card of moving up in your career, moving up in your social status. I'm not taking this card as the job card, because this is the card of official institutions. This is your building of the government. This is any institution that is official and that dealing with archives and with politics. So it can be your city, even something that is very, very official. It can be a hospital, some government facility. So as I said, card number 15 represents influential person, but this is represents physically official building and official institution. So it can be a hospital, IRS, government facility, any government facility, any facility that has to do with archives and official things. Also, it can represent jail and isolation, someone that is isolated from the world and is lonely. Number 20 is the Garden card, and the Garden card is your social life. It's everything that is in public, outside. It can be the internet, social media, everything that is out there. When you're going to shopping, when you're sitting at a coffee shop, this is public. Everything that is out there in the public. Movie theaters, parks, outside, in your neighborhood, everything that is public and have to do with your social life. Number 21 is the Mountain card, and the Mountain card represents obstacles, blocks, difficulties, and challenges. So the Mountain card represents that you really want to be on the top, but it's really difficult for you to get to that top. You really need to go through all of those challenges. So basically, this is a card that represents some goals that you want to accomplish something, but the road will not be easy. It will take time until you will reach the top. It will take lots of effort, lots of challenges, lots of things that you will have to overcome in order for you to reach the top. Overall, it represents very stubborn, arrogant people that are sometimes even giving hard time to other people due to their stubbornness and arrogance. And just remember that this is the card of challenges and obstacles. It also can represent different countries, because this is the Mountain card, and behind the mountains there is a different country. So number 22 is the Crossroads card, and this is the card of the crossroads, literally. When a person does not know what he should do, when he is in a crossroads in his life, when he really needs to take an important decision where he's going to go, to the left, to the right, he needs to make up his mind. This is a bit challenging card. It's a bit critical card that gives crisis in life, because when we don't know where we want to go, it gives lots of tension, lots of instability in our lives, and we really need to decide what we are going to do. This card also represents the other woman in case that the man having an affair, and it's a card that represents your small trips in the neighborhood and just going on the road in your city, let's say. It's not a distant travel. This is the roads in your neighborhood, in your city. So number 23 is the mice card, and this is the card of loss, of something being eaten away from your life. It's a very negative card. It represents dirt, it represents negativity. Something is going away from your life, some loss in your life. It can be a money loss, it can be relationship loss, or even diseases. So very negative card overall. There is nothing positive in this card. This is the card of reducing something because it's eating away something from your life. This is also a card of crisis. It's a card of illness. It might be an illness due to infection and a very not stable psychological state of lots of anxieties and lots of depression and psychotic behavior. Number 24 is very simple. It's the heart card, and it represents love, passion. It represents emotions. Someone that is very loving, and this is basically your love, your partner, your love life. Number 25 is the ring card, and this is the card of unions, partnership, and going in a cycle. This is the card also of routine in a way and of responsibilities. Also, this is the card of jewelry because marriage, it is a union. So everything that has to do with signing contracts, new partnership, new friendship, some new responsibility in the person's life. It can be a contract offer, something like that. So number 26 is the card of the book, and this is the card of secrecy, of occult knowledge, of something is hidden and not known right now. A card of all the books and studying and library and everything that has to do with knowledge. So this is the card of knowledge, but also of secrets, and to people who are dwelling in witchcraft, this is the card of occult knowledge and of sorcery. Also, this card can represent that something is being closed up. And as you can see, the book is closed. Some decks have the book open, but I prefer this type of imagery because as you can see where the book is closed, it means that here the situation is being closed and it's not going to be anymore. So number 27 is the letter card, and the letter card is everything that has to do with documents and written words and papers. So very simple card of all the official things like receiving letters, text messages, everything that is written, everything that is on paper, checks, documents, it can be your plane tickets, everything that is paper. Number 28 is the man card, and this is the card of logical thinking, of being very logical, and this is the card of being manly in a situation. Sometimes those cards are confusing, the man and the woman, because sometimes you receive them in a spread and you're thinking, what does it mean? But it depends on the spread, depends on the context. It can be the querent himself, it can be some other person in the querent's life, or it can be that this situation needs to be dwelt in a very manly, logical way. This is the woman card, and this is the querent, or someone that is close to the querent, a womanly figure, and this is a card that represents that you need to deal with this situation in a more soft, feminine way. Number 30 is the card of the lilies, and the lilies represents harmony. It can represent peace, tranquility, old age, coldness, someone that is very calm, and it's also the card of sexuality. So I know it might be confusing, and many people are confusing how this card is playing out, but usually it does play out as a sex card. As I said, it depends on the context, what is going on. So usually this represents your grandparents, mature people, royalty, someone who is very, very regal and royal, someone that knows how to behave, someone from aristocratic family. And overall, this is a good, calm, peaceful card. But in context of sexuality, this is the card that represents more romantic sexuality, while the card number 11, the whip, it can be the sex itself. So this card is not very easy. It has many representations. Just remember that it's old people, that it's something old, and also sex and purity and tranquility. Also, it can indicate that you need to rest. Number 31 is the most positive card in the deck, which is the Sun card, and it represents creativity, abundance, money, joyfulness, happiness, exotic countries, warmth, everything that is good and happy. Very, very auspicious card. So number 32, also one of the difficult cards, because it's not really understood. So this is the card of the moon, and the moon represents moodiness. It represents instability in a way. It represents the night, mother, it's your mother. It represents 1 month, and also it might be feminine issues like hormonal imbalance and everything that has to do with feminine energy. I know that this card also represents fame in some of the interpretations and good work and promotion, but me personally, I don't take this card as fame and promotion. I think it does not make any sense. This is the card of feminine energy. This is the card of the unknown. This is the card of mystics. It's not like the moon in tarot cards, but this is a card that represents emotional imbalance. So, but sometimes it can represent good work and fame, and not really fame. Fame, I think it's more the Sun card, but it can represent some promotion, but again, it depends on the context. So be careful with this card. This is the card that has to do with emotions. Card number 33 is the card of the key, and the key represents solutions, good opportunities. It's a very positive and fortunate card. It represents also tools, skills, someone that is very smart and intelligent, and it means that you have opportunity, grab the opportunity and take it, but it depends on you whether you want to take the opportunity. So the key is a card of technical things, of tools, as I said, and of solutions. It also can represent that some doors are opening in your life, and sometimes some doors are closing in your life. But overall, this is a very positive card. Card number 34 is the card of the fish, and the fish represent everything that has to do with money. So this is the card of abundance, of physical, material abundance, and of money. This is your salary, this is your money, and also it represents your deep connection with your soul. This is also the card of deepness, and this is a watery card, so your soul is something that is very deep. Play out sometimes with addictions and all sort of things, but it's not for right now. But usually this is the card of money. Number 35, this is the card of the job for me. This is the card that represents something heavy, something that is routine-like, something that is bind and connected to something. This is the card of your job. This is your daily job, your daily routine that you're doing. So this is the card of the job, of routine, of something heavy. Sometimes it represents something that is already in your life for a long time, and sometimes this card is a bit pessimistic and heavy. Number 36 is the last card of the deck, and this is the card of the cross, and the cross represents difficulties, something from destiny. It can represent, for me, victim mentality in people. The classical interpretation that it's like a bearing of a cross in people, and it's challenges, difficulties, something that you cannot change, some crisis, some misfortune. But this is also a card of religion, and this is a card of faith and of something destined that is happening in your life. This is something that you cannot have control on. It will happen, and that's it. So anyways, that was a quick flip through the cards. I hope it will help you, and thank you for watching, and see you in my next videos. If you have some questions, please write in the comments below, and goodbye.